Equitable distribution is the standard for dividing marital assets. It's important to determine what is separate assets and what are marital assets, and there are specific rules in regard to that. The court has the power to divide all marital assets between the parties. It's divided based on what is fair and reasonable under the circumstances. It does not necessarily mean equal. It means what's fair and reasonable. However, in most cases, equal is what turns out to be what's fair and reasonable, unless you give the judge some reason that they should vary from that. Marital assets are anything acquired through the labors or efforts of either party during the marriage. Only you and your attorney can determine what those things are by discussing the facts and the circumstances of your individual case. In dividing property, you have both non-marital and marital property. Non-marital property is any property that either of you owned prior to the marriage that you've not commingled with marital property, and anything either of you acquired through gift or inheritance from a third party. However, non-marital property can become marital if in fact it is transferred to a marital status, such as depositing inherited funds into a joint bank account. Real property may have both marital and non-marital aspects to it. If someone owned a house before you were married, but they paid the mortgage during the marriage from marital funds, then it both has separate and marital property. In general, the things that get divided in a divorce are any bank accounts, any money either party has, doesn't matter whose name they're in. The marital home, again, it doesn't matter whose name it's in. The automobiles, doesn't matter whose name they're in. The retirement accounts, again, doesn't matter whose name they're in. The furniture, all the various things that people accumulate during a marriage that are actual property. Any real estate, stocks, bonds, all these things are subject to equitable division of property. Some of the reasons that we can present to the court as to why they should not split marital property equally can really vary. The cause of the breakup of the marriage can be one of them. If someone cheated on their spouse, then that is something the court can take into consideration. If someone has been hiding assets, that's something the court can take into consideration. If someone has been a bad actor, the court can take that into consideration. The needs of the spouse or the children can be taken into consideration. For instance, quite often we see judges awarding the custodial parent the marital home so that the children can continue in the home that they're used to being in. The judge wants the children to stay in the environment they've been in as much as, if at all possible. The income of the parties. If one party has built a career and has a high income and a high income potential, but the other party has not, the other party has been maybe a stay-at-home mother or father, we see both, then perhaps the property will be divided based upon the needs of the party that hasn't been working, because they don't have the potential to earn more in the future. It's not uncommon when we represent, say, professional athletes or doctors, to see the spouse who has not been earning that money but has been supporting them in their endeavors to get where they are. It's not uncommon to see them get a larger amount of the property. If you have any questions about equitable division of property and what you're entitled to in a divorce, call Daniels and Taylor. We're here to help you.